Hi there, it's July 15th, 2021, in the middle of summer here in Alaska. And I thought I'd do a little video on the future of real estate. Again, I've done this before. And, I got my crystal ball out. While I go find my crystal ball, this is a good time to say stay tuned to the end for the Valley Market Real Estate ladies and an update on their experiences in this crazy market.
Crazy market update and their needs.
Here it is. It's actually a Japanese fishing float found out in Unimak Island, Urilla Bay, but it still works. We'll see how it works actually in the future, but this is what I think. I think that real estate prices are going to continue to go up. So those of you that are holding out for a crash, I think are going to be disappointed. That's what I think. They're going to continue to go up at least for the next few years. I'm not sure how many years. It will depend on several things. It'll depend on whether the interest rates go up a lot. I think they're going to have to go up a lot. I mean, like 4.5%, 5% before it really slows things down. Prices could go up so high that I saw a quote today that said, the only thing that stops high prices is high prices. So they could go up so high that housing just becomes absolutely unaffordable, and it certainly is much less affordable than it used to be. Another thing I noticed today was that average house value in 1940 was $2,700. In 1980 it was $47,000, and in 2000 it was $119,000. Now, I haven't got any more recent stats than that, that's 20 years later. But still, even looking at that, if you looked at 2000, the value of 2000, if you looked at the value of the dollar in 2000 and compared it to 1940, even those 1940 houses that were $2,700 in $2,000 value would only be $30,000. So you can see that the value of houses compared to the value of our overall income has increased a lot. And now, of course, it's way up above that. It's way higher than that. Here's why I think prices are not going down anytime soon. Number one, inflation. We're going to have inflation. We've already got inflation. Those of you that are out there buying anything know that we have inflation. Everything's gone up. Gas prices gone up. Milk prices gone up. Lumber prices gone up. Pretty much anything. And of course, everything to do with housing has gone up. Labor costs are going up. And I don't think they're going down anytime soon. So if you're waiting for the price to go down, you're going to be stuck waiting. And you're going to be holding on to your dollar that you've got now that's going to be worth 50 cents in a few years. That's what I'm saying for you guys that are out there waiting to buy. I don't know what to tell you guys that want to not to sell. That's a different question. The only real reason to sell is to do something else, like you're going to move into a smaller house or a bigger house, or you're going to move to a different location. Something like that is a reason to sell. And I would love you to sell because we have a shortage of inventory. Let's talk about the inventory a little bit. Today, there are 331 houses on the market. 2 days ago, there were 330. So, hey, it's going up. But 2 years ago, there were over 800 houses on the market. And also this week, 2 years ago, we sold 67 houses. This past week, we sold about 60 houses. So our demand is similar to what it was 2 years ago. And inventory is a third. Prices are way up, but there's nothing to buy. And right now in the office here, I've got a couple of the Valley Market real estate ladies, Jennifer and Martha. They're out there in the trenches looking for houses for people, selling houses for people. And I'd just like you to hear what they have to say.
So Marty asked me to reflect a little bit on working with buyers and or sellers in this market and kind of what I'm noticing as something that might be worth sharing for buyers and sellers. So my first thought was for buyers. Now you've probably heard that it's a really competitive market, which means that homes are selling really quickly. Because of that, you have to be really on top of your home search. So a common misconception is that your real estate agent will find the home that you end up buying. And although, yes, we do look every day at the MLS and our local listings, and we do keep an eye on it, you have to remember that we are representing multiple buyers. So we're kind of thinking about and looking for multiple different homes. Whereas our buyers are really only focused on their home and their needs. So sometimes it's easier for the buyer to really focus on what they're looking for. And a lot of times you'll be the one who finds the home that you end up buying. So keep an eye on whatever app or website of choice you like to use. Have your agent sign you up for a subscription with the MLS. They can set it to your criteria, whether it's like Palmer, Wasilla, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, whatever. So you'll get daily emails from the MLS from your agent and, set up notifications on whatever app or website you're using. So then it's a team effort. So when something goes active, you can send it to your agent. If they haven't sent it to you, they can schedule a showing, get you in there day one if possible, so that you have a chance to write an offer and compete for the home. So that's my tip for buyers. Be proactive and help your agent look for the house, just because you can't afford to wait if something hits the market. When it comes to sellers, most of you who are thinking about selling have heard that homes are going for top dollar, which is true. A lot of homes are selling for a lot more money than anyone anticipated. But that doesn't mean that when you go to list, you should list it at a crazy high price. And here's why. If you list it at a super high price, the buyer will assume that they're going to have to compete to buy that home. They're assuming that they're going to have to put in offers against multiple other buyers. They're assuming they're going to have to offer at least asking, if not over asking. So if they see a home hit the market that fits their criteria, but it's already really expensive for what they can kind of expect for the same house, they won't want to compete for it, because they'll say, that's at the top of our budget. We can't afford to go above and beyond. On the flip side, if the home is listed for way less than it should be, people will assume there's something wrong with it. So you're really looking for a sweet spot where it's a high price just because the market we're in, but it's fair. And that will force the competition. That will force the multiple offers. That's the sweet spot where people are going to want to compete, because there's still room for them to go up a little in price. You want it to appraise. That's the other thing. If you list it way high, there's a chance that the appraiser is not going to be able to value it at that listing price. So yes, the goal is to get the most money possible, but you have to be smart and a little strategic about what that list price is. And an agent can really help you pinpoint that perfect price point to list your house at, so you have the best success and you get the most offers and the most money possible. So those are my 2 tips, one for buyers, one for sellers. I hope it makes sense, and then maybe Marty will comment on what he thinks about those tips.
Crazy market update. Just listed a house not too long ago, and within one day had 6 offers, and ranging from $15,000 to $25,000 over asking price. And my client ended up settling on the highest bid, but not because it was the highest bid. The buyer decided to pay the seller's closing cost. She opted for no home inspection. She was willing to pay for the appraisal and pay for the appraisal right away so we could get the process rolling quickly. She also agreed to extend closing for an extra 3 weeks because that's what my seller needed. And on top of it, it just turned out to be the highest offer. And one of the reasons why we made the choice to accept it besides the highest offer with all the rest of those things is because we're not sure that it's going to appraise for that high, but you know, fingers crossed it will. So we'll see how it goes, but it's important to look at all the details of offers, not just the price. And in this case, I think that my client made the right choice for all the other reasons than price. And then to kind of give you a clue of what is happening on the other side for buyers, I have a client who it took us 8 offers on 8 different properties before she finally found one that worked with what she could afford, what she could offer, and the things that she could do to make her offer the strongest it could be. In her case, she stuck to her guns with how much she was willing to pay. She had a highest that she was willing to go, and in this case, it's what kind of took us the longest because she wasn't willing to budge on that. She made the smart choice of staying inside of her buying power instead of getting kind of, I don't know, what we'll call super crazy. And she was willing to pay the appraisal. She was willing to only ask for health and safety on an inspection. And in the end, after 8 properties, it did work out for her to find a place so she could move back to Alaska.
Well, thanks, Martha and Jennifer. That wasn't planned out, but it worked perfectly. Martha gave tips for buyers and for sellers, and Jennifer gave an actual example of working with the buyer and working with the seller. I'm not sure it was clear what Jennifer said, but she talked about working with 8 different properties. What she really did was she wrote an offer for the same buyer on 8 different properties. And, that buyer lost out 7 times, finally got a place. And then the other one she talked about where she had the seller, she got 6 different offers in, I think it was 2 days. The downside to that is there are 5 unhappy buyers. So that's one thing we're all dealing with, and we hate it for the buyers right now. It's a tough market. All right, we will help you out though. And I got 2 crystal balls that say, I don't think prices are going down anytime soon. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how good these really are. Actually, I don't believe in crystal balls. But I do think things are going to stay up. I think prices are going to stay up. I think they're going to keep going up. And those of you that are waiting for it to drop, I think are going to be disappointed. So that's my prediction. We'll see what happens. Talk to you later.